Wireless microphones have become really popular these days. They are versatile, easy to use, and the audio quality is getting better. The price is also becoming really affordable. So when I go out and shoot some video myself, or with my YouTuber friends, or helping out my friends with their video production, most of the time we'll be using wireless microphones these days. Wireless microphones are divided into two main categories. One type is the more professional mics that usually have more features like internal recording or have a 3.5mm input jack, and they are more designed for professional users which needs these more advanced features. The Hollyland Lark Max that I've been using a lot over the last year is one of these examples. The other type is the ultra compact wireless microphones. The Lark M2 that I reviewed about a year ago is one of these compact wireless microphones. These type of microphones have become really popular among content creators who want a simple to use and compact microphone, even though this type of microphones usually don't have some of the advanced features like internal recording. Hollyland is now releasing their latest ultra compact microphone, Lark M2S. While the name M2S may suggest this is just a small update version of the original Lark M2, but it's actually a completely brand new microphone that has addressed some of the issues that I found with the original Lark M2. And there's also a design that I have never seen before. The price of the Lark M2S is from US $119, so it is really affordable as well. Now, before we start the review, the usual disclaimers. Hollyland has sent me a sample of the Lark M2S for this review, and I don't have to return the sample. But as usual, I did not receive any money from Hollyland for this review. First of all, the audio of this review is recorded using the Lark M2S. I have the transmitter microphone mounted here, and I have the camera receiver connected to the Lumix S5 too. Okay, now let's first talk about the transmitter, which is also the microphone. The Lark M2S transmitter is really tiny and also extremely lightweight. The transmitter is only 7 grams. As far as I know, this is the lightest wireless microphone in the market. It is lighter than the Rode Wireless Micro that I reviewed recently, which is 12 grams. The DJI Mic Mini is 10 grams. And even the Lark M2, which is the lightest microphone that I've ever tested, is still 9 grams. And remember, with all these other microphones, the weight doesn't include the magnet, which also adds a few grams. The Lark M2S, on the other hand, doesn't have any magnetic mount. The Lark M2S transmitter itself is already designed as a clip shape, and according to Hollyland, the clip is made of titanium alloy. You can easily clip the transmitter, like right now I have clipped it to the collar of my shirt. The clip seems to be really secure. When I first received the Lark M2S, I thought the bigger side of the transmitter, which has the Hollyland logo, should be facing outside. But no, it's the smaller side of the transmitter that the side doesn't have the logo is what should be facing outside. So this is very different to all the other wireless mics in the market, and this gives the Lark M2S two big advantages. First, if you look at me, there's only a very small microphone that is visible from the outside. If you have watched my previous microphones reviews, you would know that I always don't like having a big company logo visible on the wireless microphone's transmitter. One thing that I really like about the original Lark M2 is that it comes with a set of stickers, so you can cover the Hollyland logo with one of those stickers. It was a really cool idea. But this time it's even better with the Lark M2S because there just isn't any room for a logo. As I've said, there's only a very small microphone that is visible, so the setup is very stealthy. I don't think it is possible to make a microphone that is smaller than that, at least not the visible part. even a normal lavalier mic will be more visible than the Lark M2S. If you're wearing some black or dark color clothing, like what I'm doing now, the microphone is almost invisible. So this is so much better than some other bigger wireless mic with a big logo. Every time when I see someone else that is recording with one of those bigger transmitter with a big logo that is visible, I feel like the mic is silently screaming and asking people to look at it. Because the Lark M2S transmitter is so small and so lightweight, it allows us to be creative. I can clip the transmitter onto the collar like here, or just I can clip on the t-shirt, or I can even clip it onto a hat. The second advantage is, unlike the typical wireless microphone, that all the weight of the microphone are at the front, so when you are wearing it, it would just pull your clothes down a bit and make the clothes look untidy. We don't have this problem with the Lark M2S, as not only it is lighter, but the heavier side of the transmitter is placed at the back. The center of gravity is at the back, which pulls the mic backwards towards your body. So the transmitter won't pull down our clothes. There are a few different versions of the Hollyland Lark M2S. The main difference is the receiver or receivers that comes with it. The most basic version is the Type-C version that comes with a very small USB-C receiver. This is great if you are only shooting with a phone or a computer or any device that accepts USB-C microphone. Then there's the mini combo and combo version. Both of them have the extra camera receiver as well. The camera receiver has a 3.5mm output jack and also an USB-C port, so you can connect it to your camera or phone or computer or tablet using either an analog cable or a USB-C to USB-C cable or a USB-C to Lightning cable. Now, since the price difference is not that big between the Type-C version and the mini combo version, so I would suggest you go for at least the mini combo version, which comes with both the camera and the USB-C receiver to future-proof your setup a bit, even if you may only need the USB-C receiver right now. Otherwise, one day in the future, you certainly want to use a camera that doesn't take USB-C microphone. If you only bought the Type-C version, then you may have to buy a whole new system, which costs a lot more money. There's also an ultimate combo version, which is the same as the combo version, but also comes with an extra receiver with the Lightning port. The Lark M2S comes with a charging case that can not only store but also charge your transmitters and receivers. One thing that I'm a bit disappointed is that the charging case can't fit all the extra accessories like the windscreen or the cables. So it comes with a separate bag for carrying all those extra accessories, but I would really prefer if the charging case itself can fit all the accessories. To me, it doesn't really matter if the charging case is a bit bigger because we still have to carry everything anyway, but having everything all fit inside one charging case, it also minimizes the chance of me forgetting to bring the accessory bag and therefore missing some of the accessories when I need to use them. So Hollyland, if you are watching this video, for your next microphone, can you please make the charging case a bit bigger so we can store everything in the charging case and don't have to carry a separate bag? While the receivers and the charging case all feel a little bit plasticky outside, the overall build quality is good and it doesn't feel cheap. According to Hollyland, the Lark M2S 48 kHz 24-bit audio has 70 dB signal to noise ratio and maximum SPL is 115 dB, which are pretty decent figures. But let's do a bit of audio test and do some comparison with the Lark M2 and also the Rode Wireless Micro. Now, while both the Lark M2 and M2S can output either digital or analog signal, The Rode Wireless Micro, on the other hand, doesn't have analog output. So I'm going to switch the audio recording to my computer and use the USB-C input instead. Okay, the audio is now recorded using the Hollyland Lark M2S. Kia ora, good morning everyone, Rich Wong here. Welcome back to the channel. This is the review of the Hollyland Lark M2S. The audio is now recorded using the Hollyland Lark M2. Kia ora, good morning everyone, Rich Wong here. Welcome back to the channel. This is the review of the Hollyland Lark M2S. We are now using the Rode Wireless Micro to record this audio. Kia ora, good morning everyone, Rich Wong here. Welcome back to the channel. This is the review of the Hollyland Lark M2S. I think the audio from all these three microphones sounds very good. The audio is clean and clear, but after listening to these audio clips a few times, I can hear a bit of digital artifacts from the original Lark M2. The Rode Wireless Micro and the Lark M2S sounds more natural with less artifact. Between the Lark M2S and the Rode Wireless Micro, I prefer the Lark M2S a little bit more, as the Lark M2S audio sounds a little bit more natural. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me and think the Lark M2S sounds the best, or do you prefer one of the other microphones a little bit more? Drop a comment below and let me know. Okay, now let's head out and do some outdoor audio tests and see how the microphone performs in real-world outdoor environment. Let's do a bit of audio quality test in a more noisy environment. Right now I'm using my iPhone 16 Pro to record this video. So I'm using the mobile USB-C receiver and have it plugged into the iPhone. And this area is pretty noisy, and the reason why I'm here is I want to test out the noise reduction feature. So on both the receiver and the transmitter, there is a button that you can press to turn on the noise reduction feature. So let me turn it on right now. Okay, so I have just turned on the noise reduction feature, and if you look at the receiver or the transmitter, the LED light will change from blue color to green color to indicate that the noise reduction feature is enabled. I think the noise reduction does a pretty decent job in lowering the background noise. You should be able to hear me much better now compared to before, but because of the noise reduction, there would be a little bit of audio artifact introduced by the noise reduction that you may be able to hear a little bit of that sometimes. And now let me disable the noise reduction. Okay, now you should be able to hear a lot more background noise once I have the noise reduction disabled. Okay, now we are in the middle of a shopping mall, so it is a pretty busy area. Lots of people, lots of background noise, and also lots of Wi-Fi signal around here. So let's do a bit of range test and also a bit of audio test and see how this microphone performs in a more busy, noisy area with lots of interference. And I'm also going to turn around and see how is the working distance when there isn't any direct line of sight. So I'll be walking there all the way through the escalator, go to the second floor, and then back up there. So probably I'm expecting there will be a bit of audio drop when I'm a bit of distance away from the camera. But let's see. All right, let's go. All right, now I turn myself around and walking up. And yeah, just want to get up to the second floor. So there's no direct line of sight, but there may be a bit of signal that bounce around from the walls and the buildings around here. And now I'm close to the second floor. So definitely there's no direct line of sight right now. And okay, now I'm at the second floor. And let me walk a bit around here. I really don't expect there will be any audio right now because yeah, I can't even see where the camera is. So I am walking back here and see whether we got the audio back now. All right, now I'm at the second floor. Distance away probably I think 30 meters or so, 40 meters, so not too far away. And now I do have a direct line of sight with the camera and the receiver now. So I do expect I should have very good audio now. So now I have checked the test video and I honestly was really surprised. I was expecting the audio would cut out maybe half the time, especially once I travel up the escalator to the opposite side when the signal was pretty much completely blocked off. But I guess there was still a bit of signal that bounced off the walls and the ceiling. So the Lark M2S receiver still managed to pick up enough signal to generate some pretty good audio. There was only very minor audio dropout, but way better than I expected. And now let's go out again and do some more tests. Hollyland claims the working range is up to 300 meters in open environment without interference with direct line of sight. So I want to do one more outdoor test in my favorite outdoor test area and see how the Lark M2S performs there. Okay, now we do another outdoor test. I'm back to my favorite place to test the wireless microphone. If you have been following me for a while, you know that I quite often come here when I do a wireless microphone or any wireless gadget test to test the range. It is a pretty big open space area. It doesn't have too much interference. Apart from very windy, it is a very good place to test the direct line of sight transmission range. So if I walk all the way to the end there, it's about 220 meters. So I'm going to walk all the way there and I'll be holding the microphone, something I usually don't like to do, but because I want to make sure there is a direct line of sight between the microphone and the receiver. So I will hold it this way so that when I walk that way, I can still make sure the receiver and the microphone can see each other. So let's go do a test and see what's the range we can get from this Lark M2S. Whoa, it is really windy today. Let's see what is the distance that I can get out of this Lark M2S. So now I'm about 30 meters or so. I'm pretty sure there's no issue in terms of the audio transmission. Usually microphones these days, it can like at least 100 meters should be no problem. And after 100 meters, then some of the microphones starting to have a bit of audio cut out. So let's see how far I can go before the audio start to have issue. So I reached this tree, which means about 75 meters. And let me go forward a little bit more and see how far I can go. Alright. And now it's about 100 meters. And let's keep going, keep going, keep going. I have to keep talking so that we can hear whether there's any audio cut out very easily. Having said that, it's so windy, so I have a feeling it will still pick up a bit of wind noise, even though I have the wind muff installed onto this microphone. Right now is over 150 meters. We're starting to get into the range. There are a lot of microphones starting to have a bit of audio cut out. So let's see whether we have problem or not with the Lark M2S. It is a very tiny microphone, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't do as well as some of the other bigger wireless microphones. All right, now we are 200 meters and we are getting close to the end of this pathway. So when I reach the end, it will be around 220 meters. All right, so now I reached the end and that means the distance is now about 220 meters. So how is the audio quality? Does it still able to transmit audio all the way back to the receiver, or do I have audio cut out? I really don't know right now because I'm not listening to the audio, but you guys will know right now whether it's working or not. So that was a really windy day when I did that test. Even though I already have the windscreen installed, the microphone still pick up quite a bit of wind noise. Actually, on that same topic, if you have watched my review of the Lark M2, you may remember I said the windscreen for the Lark M2 was really quite hard to install. Sometimes it would even take me like a minute before I managed to install it properly. It was probably my biggest complaint about the Lark M2. This time it is much better with the Lark M2S. The first time you use the microphone, you may still need a bit of time to figure out how to install the windscreen, but after 1 or 2 practice, then you should be able to install the windscreen quite easily and very quickly. It's still not a perfect design, but compared it with the original Lark M2, the M2S is a big improvement. Anyway, back to the outdoor range test. I have actually done that same test multiple times, as I'm also doing a review of the Lark M2S for a Cantonese channel, so I need to redo the test in different language. And from my repeated tests, the audio signal is pretty much always excellent up to around 200 meters. Once I exceeded 200 meters, then they start to have a bit of audio dropout, especially when there isn't a perfect direct line of sight or when I was moving the microphone a bit. I stopped the test at around 220 meters because I couldn't walk any further. But since I already have some minor dropout at around 220 meters, I have a feeling even if I can keep walking, I won't be able to reproduce the 300 meter working range in that place. According to Hollyland, the battery life for the transmitter and the camera receiver can last up to 8 hours per charge. The charging case can also charge the devices 2 times, so that will extend the total battery life up to 30 hours. I myself have not done a battery life test this time, but I've recorded a few reviews using the Lark M2S plus a lot of other testings, and I haven't recharged the charging case even once, and the battery is still okay. So it seems the battery can definitely last a very long time. Just like pretty much all the current small wireless microphones in the market, the Lark M2S battery is built-in and not user replaceable. What it means is, since the battery would have limited lifetime, and once the built-in battery is dead, especially when it's outside the warranty period, then the whole system becomes useless. Now, while this is the same for all the other small wireless microphones or most other electronic gadgets in the market these days, it doesn't mean this is the best way to build a product, but unfortunately it seems to be the result when everyone is pushing the products to become smaller and cheaper. So this time I used this opportunity to have some discussions with Hollyland about this topic. I told them about my concerns of having the built-in battery that is not replaceable. Not only it limits the lifetime of the microphone, but it also results in more e-waste than needed. Hollyland acknowledged this is a valid concern, and they had some internal discussions about this as well. Hollyland told me Hollyland will always try to be responsible to the users and to the society. For their future products, they would try their best to find a balance and create the best solution. Now, I myself also involved in some product development, so I can understand it is not really an easy thing to do in a commercial world. So they haven't really gave me any solid promise of what they are going to do. At the very least, they are aware of the request and desire from users to have replaceable battery for their future products. I remember when I first saw the Lark M2S, my initial reaction was, what a strange design. Why does the transmitter look so weird, and why there isn't a magnetic mount? Now, after using the Lark M2S for about a month and also recorded many videos both indoor and outdoor using the Lark M2S, I understand this brand new design. This new design is a lot easier to use than I originally thought. The clip is really secure and I can clip the transmitter easily onto my shirt or even my head. While the typical magnetic mount that you see on a lot of other wireless microphones may provide more flexibility in terms of where I can mount the transmitter, but this Hollyland's new clip design means I don't have to worry about the microphone may just constantly trying to pull my shirt down. I also don't have to worry about the transmitter may fall off when a camera strap or something that may have accidentally touched the transmitter and rip it away from the magnetic mount. Noise reduction is pretty effective, even though I can hear a little bit of artifact caused by noise reduction, but overall I think noise reduction works very well. What I was most surprised is that when I did my outdoor test in the shopping mall, even when I went to another level of the building with completely no line of sight, the audio transmission was still mostly okay. This is usually the weakest area for this type of microphone, but the Lark M2S performs very well. So overall, it is a really nice product. Such a tiny discrete microphone that doesn't sacrifice audio quality or range. But what I really love is that Hollyland has come up with a new unique clip design. This alone worth a lot of praise, as most companies these days are just happy to follow whatever other people are already doing instead of trying to be innovative. If you are looking at buying a new set of wireless microphone, and you don't need to have some of the more advanced features like internal recording or 32-bit flow recording, then you definitely should consider this Hollyland Lark M2S.